Welcome to this Yin Yoga practice. This hour-long practice is designed to relieve tension and to calm the nervous system. The props I'm using today are two small bolsters. If you don't have anything like this, you could use pillows or cushions. And I'm also using a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you could use a dressing gown belt or something similar. When you're ready, come and sit on your mat. Easy seated pose or any other space that feels good for you. And begin to connect with your sit bones. You might want to move some flesh away from that part of the body so you feel a little bit more grounded there. Give the shoulders a little roll open. And close your eyes and begin to connect to the breath. Letting go of any external influences and bringing your awareness inward as you open up the senses. Connecting with your sense of touch, feeling the sit bones connected to the ground. Your sense of hearing and listening without labeling. Notice the insides of your mouth, connect with your sense of taste. Your sense of smell. Staying here with the breath, bringing your fingertips and palms together, pressing them gently with a small gap between each one. Coming into Anjula Mudra, staying with your focus and taking a few breaths here. And when you're ready, we'll begin our practice with an Om chant. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Om. Stay with the stillness. And when you're ready, make your way onto your mat, onto hands and knees. Coming into child's pose. Take your knees to the outer edges of your mat. Take your toes to touch. And push your sit bones back towards your heels as you palm your hands forwards. Bow your forehead. Head gently resting on the ground. Take your time now to find a space that feels good. Maybe you're propping underneath the ribs here with a bolster or pillow, or taking a block if you have something similar and you don't have a block, and placing your head on the block. Once you feel like you're in a good shape here, begin to settle the body. Allowing your body to soften. Push your sit bones back towards your heels gently so that you're not forcing, you're just melting in towards this shape. Staying with the breath. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your hips, and remembering that there's no energy required here. An opportunity for you to release and let go. And as you move into stillness, the mind may become active. Your mind may wander into the future, to what's next on the list. Or it may take you into the past, thinking of something that's already happened. If you feel your thoughts taking you into the past or the future, aim to bring them back to present, focusing on the breath, the quickest and easiest way to become present. The shoulders melt, the hips melt. Feeling the expansion across your back as you inhale, exhaling to relax, looking for a smooth and rhythmic breathing pattern, something to carry you through your yin practice. That could be inhale for 4, exhale for 4. Maybe that works for you, or something similar. And as you begin to feel more comfortable settling into stillness, enjoy that sense of peace and tranquility that comes with quiet. And when you're ready, gently palm your way back up. You might want to bring the knees together here. Sit back on your heels, roll the shoulders open, and just spend a few breaths here absorbing any sensations. And when you're ready, come to lie on your back. And take your belt with you, your yoga belt. And wrap the belt around the ball of the foot. So there's a lot of nerve endings at the arch. We're aiming to stay away from that. We're holding this belt gently and pushing the sole of the foot to the sky. Relax your shoulders, and if it feels good, you can push the sole of the left foot out in front of you to a straight leg. Hold the belt nice and gently. So we're aiming to release tension. And if you grip this belt, you may find that you begin to build up tension. You could hold your belt one side in one hand, one side in the other hand if you have a dressing gown. Or if you have a belt with a clasp, maybe you'd like to do that clasp up and hold it with one hand. So take your time now and move into a space that feels good for you. And then begin to settle into the stretch, keeping your toes tracking towards the top of your mat. Maybe you take a close of the eyes or soften the gaze. Reconnecting with your breath. We can hold on to a lot of tension here in the hamstrings. And this gives us an opportunity to release and let go of some of that tension. Your breath is smooth and steady. Your shoulders are soft. We're staying here for 3 minutes. And as our yin is such a still practice, maybe when we move from shape to shape, the mind begins to become active once again. Well, this gives us the opportunity to observe our thoughts, beginning to see where they're taking us. Maybe noticing if they make us feel in any particular way. Do they give a sense of anxiety with those thoughts, or do they bring a sense of calm? Maybe if you're taking yourself to a place of calm, you can stay there for a while. There's nothing wrong in that. However, if thoughts are taking you to a place of anxiety or tension, maybe there's an opportunity there to let something go. Remembering the intention of our practice is to release tension in the body and the mind. So if you feel anything building up in any way or at any time, maybe you could use that as an opportunity to release and let go. And sometimes when we're holding the belt high towards the foot, especially if we have shoulder issues, this can feel a little bit uncomfortable. So feel free to bring your elbows to rest on the ground if that feels better. Just working in a way that feels comfortable for your body, adjusting your practice to suit you. Your unique practice is different to everybody else's. Celebrating where you are today, enjoying what you can do with your body. We'll just take a few more breaths here. Shoulders are soft, breath is smooth and steady. And when you're ready, just bring that knee in towards the chest, give it a squeeze. Take the sole of the foot down to the ground. And then stretch that leg out down the mat. And just notice how that feels. Maybe that feels just a little longer than the other leg. Enjoy that sensation that you've created and just stay here for another couple of breaths. Okay, we're working with the same leg. If you want to, remember you can thread the belt that you're using. And make a loop around the ball of the foot, remember, staying away from the arch. We are opening up the hip now, using the belt for guidance and support. When you're ready, begin to open up your hip with the aim of allowing your foot to fall to the ground so that it becomes level with your shoulder. And this might not be achievable for a lot of people, so you're moving into a space that feels good for you, and you're anchoring down through that left hip. If this feels a little too intense for you, remember you can ease off at any time. Slowly move into the shape and aim to settle where you are, noticing where the resistance is and seeing if you can work with that resistance rather than against it. If it feels better for you to bend that knee, you could bend the knee and place the sole of the foot on the ground. It's entirely up to you. Always moving into a space and a place that feels good. Settling with the breath. Your yogi breath is carrying you through your practice. Maybe you'd like to bring Ujjayi breath into your practice here so that you close off the back of your throat. Inhaling and exhaling, maybe hearing the sound that sounds similar to Darth Vader. However you're breathing, we're looking for something rhythmic, smooth and regular, circular, something to complement our practice. A few more breaths on this side. When you're ready, gently bend that knee and bring it in towards the center. Squeeze it in towards your chest. Bend the other leg, plant the sole of the foot down and release the sole of the other foot to the mat. And just take a few breaths here, absorbing the sensations here. Noticing how one leg feels different to the other. Staying with the breath. Enjoying the stillness. And when you're ready, we'll take the belt and we're working with the same leg. Push the sole of the foot to the sky. Stretch the other leg down the mat if that feels good. And then change the grip. So you'll hold the belt now with the other hand, placing the other hand on the ground. Gently take that leg over to the side. What can happen here sometimes is that we can roll over onto the left side. We're looking to anchor down through that right hip here, so you really don't have to go far before you find that stretch. If we roll over onto the left hip, then we move into a spinal twist. We're not really looking for a spinal twist with this stretch. We're looking for a stretch down the IT band. So you should feel a sensation down the outer edge of that right leg. You can rest your right arm on the ground, settle your shoulders, and begin to breathe, staying with the breath here. Remember that you can ease in or ease out of any posture at any time. If you're holding on to energy in the hips here, let that go. Maybe your glutes are slightly engaged, without you realizing that they've switched themselves on, and you could release from something there. Noticing where the tension arises, remembering your intention for your practice to release and let go. Moving back into that place of stillness. Aiming to stay present. If your mind wanders, bring awareness back to the breath. The quickest and easiest way to become present is to follow the journey of the breath. Find where the inhale starts, the middle of it and the end. Notice the pause. And then follow the exhale in the same way. And notice the pause at the end of the exhale before you then inhale. Take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, bend that knee and straighten that leg down the mat. Close your eyes now and notice the difference. How does that leg feel? Maybe it feels a little longer than the other one. Maybe it feels a little bit more revitalized, energized, maybe a little tingly. Stay here and notice what comes with your practice and absorb those sensations. Good. When you're ready, we'll do the same on the other side. You don't have to change directions. Taking the belt and wrapping it around the ball of the foot, beginning with that stretch for the hamstring. Finding that space that feels good. Maybe you adjust your belt here, working to a place that feels good. Remembering your options here. So you could hold each side of the belt. You could hold the belt with one hand. Looking for a space that feels good. Remembering to place the belt around the ball of the foot and not on the arch. Softening the gaze once you're in a place and a space that feels good for you, and beginning to breathe. Reconnecting with your breath. Soft, smooth, rhythmic breath. We're holding this for just a little bit longer with the hamstring stretch. We'll go through the same sequence. Time is a little shorter as we open the hip and stretch the IT band. For the moment, settle into your hamstring stretch, snuggling as much of your back body in towards the ground. Moving back into that place of stillness, aiming to take a break from any cerebral activity. Making that energetic shift from human doing to human being. If the arm feels uncomfortable at any time, remember you can rest your elbow onto the ground. Just be mindful that that heel sometimes slowly begins to work its way down towards the front of your mat. And what you're looking for is to maintain that hamstring stretch. So track the toes to the top of your mat and push up through the sole of your foot to maintain that straight leg. It might not go completely straight, and that's absolutely fine. Always remembering to carry that sense of compassion with you on your mat. Sometimes you might find these movements challenging, or you might not go as deep into a stretch as you would like to go, but that's absolutely fine. All of our bodies are different. Some people are hypermobile. Some people haven't stretched their spine in 10, 20, sometimes 30 years. So just remembering and appreciating your past and where you are today, and that everything happened for a reason. It's all molded you into that person you are here and now. Enjoying where you are today. Take a few more breaths here and aim to connect with your sense of gratitude as you're breathing in and out. Gratitude for yourself. Release. Bring that sole of the foot down to the mat, into your chest. See if you can tune into your body. See what it's asking for, and then deliver. And then take a few moments here. Gently stretch that leg down your mat and notice the difference there. How does that leg feel now compared to when you first started your practice? Maybe you feel a sense of spaciousness within the glutes and the leg, down the back of the leg. Absorb the sensations that are here, that have arrived, and just take a few more breaths here. Same leg. The belt goes around the ball of the foot. Working with that hip opener now. Pushing the sole of the foot to the sky and then gently opening up the hip. If you want to here, you could bring the elbow down to the ground, and that gives you a little bit more stability as you open up the hip. It doesn't matter how far you go. Remember to anchor down with that opposite hip and avoid rolling all the way over. So you're anchoring down through the right hip to keep a good connection with your back body and the ground. If you feel that hip on the right side is lifting off the ground too much. It might lift a fraction, but if you start to develop a large gap underneath that hip, maybe you could prop underneath that hip with a blanket or a bolster, aiming to keep just a connection with the ground. It may feel better with your foot on the ground, propped up just a little with a bolster, as long as it's a soft bolster. But if you're propping up too much, your body will come out of alignment. So you're looking to anchor down, preferably with a blanket that's very thin, or just with the very edge of a squashy bolster. Finding a place where you feel connected and grounded. Soften the shoulders. So remembering the shoulders released of tension. Our Western lifestyles have us with shoulders up and forwards. And our yoga gives us an opportunity to work against that. So we're drawing the shoulders down and back. Enjoying that quiet and peace that comes with our practice. Your breath is smooth and steady. Enjoying the rhythm of the breath, the movement of the body as you're breathing in and out. Maybe Ujjayi breath is your friend, accompanying you on your yoga journey. Just a few more breaths here. When you're ready, come back to the center, squeeze the knee, take the sole of the foot down to the ground. If you want to, you can stretch both legs, seeing if you can tune into what your body is asking for and deliver. Taking this time to allow the body to settle. Same leg when you're ready. Working with that IT band stretch now. So wrapping the belt around the ball of the foot. And pushing the sole of the foot up to the sky. Keep your toes tracking towards the top of your mat. Snuggle your back body into the ground. Keep your hips anchored towards the earth. And then slowly take that foot out to the side, changing the grip. So if I begin to take my foot further over to the right side now, I would end up rolling on to this right hip. And moving into more of a spinal twist. So aim to stay with the IT band stretch predominantly. You could bend your elbow and place that elbow on the ground if that feels good. Relax your shoulders, staying with the breath. Softening the gaze or closing the eyes as you settle into stillness. Remembering your breath is a powerful tool to anchor you into the present and also to carry you through your practice, a vehicle, carriage. So each time you inhale and exhale, be grateful and enjoy the power of the breath, the life force. Acceptance of yourself, enjoying where you are today, this moment in time. If mind begins to wander, thoughts go astray, bring yourself back to the breath, come back to the present. Everything can simply wait. Taking a few more breaths here. When you're ready, gently release. Slide both legs down the mat, and maybe you'd like to take your arms over your head at this moment in time and enjoy feeling just a little longer in the body, enjoying those sensations from the waist down. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give them a squeeze. And when you're ready, we'll move into a spinal twist, bringing your arms to cactus arms. And gently lowering your knees over to the right. Nice and steady. Your feet touch the ground. Take your arms out wide if you want to. So you're moving into a space and a place that feels good. Your knees may not touch each other. If it feels better for you, you could prop underneath with a block or a bolster here. Finding a twist or a pillow that feels good for your body. If that right arm feels better by your side with the palm open, then you could open the palm and rest the arm by the side. If your arm is outstretched to the side, maybe you take the gaze towards that palm. And as you take the gaze towards that left hand, you're continuing your spinal twist through your neck. Maybe it feels good to extend that top leg, so you're keeping the thighs together and extending that top leg. You could apply some pressure here very gently with that hand to guide that leg towards the ground. Or there's another option that might work for you of bringing the knees stacked on top of each other with the knees bent. Moving into a space and a place that feels good. And then tuning back into your breath. Beginning to follow the journey of that breath. Enjoying the way it carries you through your practice. Softening the gaze, closing the eyes, settling back into stillness. Maybe Ujjayi breath accompanies you on your journey. And as we spend more time in stillness, we begin to tap into our creativity. It can be impossible to remain creative in the modern world with the pressures of modern day life. With those pressures, whether they be emails in your inbox, messages to reply to, news on the TV, all of these things can give us microdoses of stress that can take us into the sympathetic nervous system, that fight and flight mode. Our practice of Yin Yoga will take us into the parasympathetic rest and digest nervous system, giving us an opportunity to reconnect with that spark of creativity. That creativity that was always there as a child, that faded away as we got a little bit older and we had demands, we had payments to keep on things we've bought, we had children to bring up, parents to look after, whatever it was that took us out of this creative mode. We can reconnect with that with our practice. So take a few breaths here, and when we twist to the other side, we will begin to manifest and begin to bring positivity and creativity into our future. Just take a few more breaths here on this side. When you're ready, gently bring your thumbs back to your heart center. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Place the soles of the feet down to the ground and place your palms down to the ground. And pause here. Remember, we're moving into stretches for longer than we would normally do in our hatha yoga practice, for example. So it's important that we give ourselves and our bodies that opportunity to rebound, to settle from the stress, the good stress that we put onto our joints to encourage healthy joints and connective tissue. So giving your body that opportunity to re-nourish as you rest for a short while. And you don't have to move around on your mat. However, I'm changing direction here for a twist in the opposite direction. Beginning from knees in towards your chest. Taking your arms wide at the side of you, or into cactus, wherever feels good, and then gently releasing your knees over to the left. Nice and steady, nice and slowly, remembering you have your pillow or your bolster to prop underneath if that feels good. As you gently ease into your shape, find a space that feels good for you. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips, encourage the feet towards the ground. It doesn't matter if the knees meet or whether they don't. If you have a huge gap between the knees, you could always prop with a bolster. When we prop with our bolster, the hard bolsters that are quite thick are great for yin practice, but sometimes rolled up blankets or a squashy pillow or bolster gives us just that inch or so that we can use to enable us to feel more comfortable, to be able to get the maximum rest within a pose. So always making those adjustments to enjoy where you are once you move into a shape. And as we move back into stillness now, we can create something we'd like to manifest into our future. Maybe there's a place you'd like to go. Or maybe there's a person or a pet you'd like to share time with. If it's a place you want to go to, imagine walking into that space in time. Imagine how it feels. The sensations that arise in your body, the scenery around you. Any smells, tastes, colours, textures. Anything that's in your visual field. Feel into that and take a few moments here. Conceptualize. Bring that manifestation to life. And if it's a person you'd like to share moments with, imagine the warmth of a loving embrace, or the echoes of laughter, the feeling of connection. Take yourself there now, absorbing anything you notice within the body that's arising, any good emotions, bringing them into fruition. Take a few more breaths with your manifestation here. And now bring your awareness back to the present. Feeling that sense of warmth and gratitude within you for what you've created. Taking a few more breaths here. When you're ready, come back to the center. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest and then place the soles of the feet back down on the mat and take an opportunity to settle and to rest. Relax your shoulders and your hips as you allow the body to settle. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a big hug. Feeling that sense of gratitude and appreciation for yourself. Hold on to the backs of the thighs towards the knees and take your feet up towards the sky, bringing your thighs back down towards the edge of your ribs. Another alternative here would be to hold onto your feet wherever feels good. Outer edges, inner edges, and pulling on the bottom of your feet to bring your knees into your armpits. You're grounding down through the sit bones here in your happy baby pose. Taking a gentle rock from side to side, or staying static. It's your choice here, doing whatever feels good. Remembering that speed is not the essence with our yin practice. Speed is yang. So we're slowly moving into those spaces, tuning into the somatics of our practice, noticing how our practice feels for us and enjoying the sensations that come with our movement and our stillness. Appreciating the time that we've taken out the day to nourish the body and the joints, and also to nourish the mind, to calm the overactive mind. And it's not our fault that we overthink sometimes. We have a lot more demands in modern life than our ancestors had, even though they had their challenges. Things like technology have changed us into multitaskers and have left our brains a little bit scattered, so that time that we take to re-regulate the brain and the nervous system is precious time, and you've carved that time out of your day for this today. So feel grateful for yourself that you've done that. And when you're ready, we'll move into our final resting pose. Shavasana, remembering that everybody has their own unique Shavasana that feels good for their body. If you have a pillow underneath the thighs towards the knees, can feel restful. Or maybe you're flat on your mat. Maybe you prefer to have a pillow underneath your head. Or you prefer to prop a little bit down the spine here, so that you feel that opening of your chest. So however feels good for you to finish your practice today. Move into that space, and we'll go through our body scan now to release that final bit of tension as you tune into the breath. Enjoy that life force of the breath, the movement of your body as you're breathing in and out. Feeling grateful for the breath. Grateful for you. Bring awareness to the soles of your feet, the toes of your feet, the arches of your feet, your heels, the tops of your feet, your ankles, your shins and your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips and your pelvis. Then let the lower body go. Bring awareness to your back, your core, your chest and your shoulders, your biceps and triceps, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers and thumbs. And let the middle body go. Bring awareness to your jaw, your chin, your mouth. Feel it soften and relax, released of any tension. Feel the support at the back of your head and the support across the whole of your back body. Feel grounded in this safe space with your practice. Relax the ears, the cheeks, the nose, the forehead. Bring awareness to all of the muscles surrounding the eyes. Release and let go. Then shine through your crown. Feeling grateful for all of the wisdom that you've gathered on and off your mat. All of the challenges you've overcome in the same way. Feeling grateful for who you are today. Shining star. Take a few more breaths here, entirely in the present. And when you feel ready, you can slowly come out of your meditation. Do whatever feels good. That could be a wriggle, a stretch, or a few deep breaths. Tuning into what the body is asking for and deliver. And then roll over onto your right side. Take yourself a few more nourishing moments there. And then gently pressing your palms in towards the ground, coming back up to seated. Gently placing your fingertips and palms together, thumbs to the heart in Anjali Mudra. Namaste.